This episode of the Relikiss Podcast really doesn't have anything that we're really any set topic that we're talking about, discussing. Um, I'll timestamp everything. We start off with me trying to get us a topic of what we dislike, and it doesn't really go anywhere. So then, after that, talk a little bit about WWE, and then after that, I start babbling on about cannibalism, because, why not? And then after that, we get to the best thing, the best part of this, which is, what the greatest animal on planet Earth is. So yeah, those will be timestamps. You can watch them if you want. If you don't know what this podcast is, it's not actually a podcast. It's just Buttkiss and I hanging out for the most part. Usually we have a set thing that we talk about, and that's that. I actually like how many different things I have going, where it's this is something I just hang out in, Relic Talks, usually me talking about something I'm interested in or whatever. It's pretty cool. Anyway, timestamps will be there. Watch what you want. If you don't want to listen to Buttkiss and I talk, that's cool. See you later. The Relikiss Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio of 0 people. Hello and welcome back to the podcast that isn't a podcast. Filmed right here in the studio apartment. I had to do it. Had to do it for Colt Cabana. The one and only Scotty Goldman. Lost 3 minutes to Brian Kendrick. I'm here with Buttkiss, obviously. It's in the title.
Yeah.
Kind of have to be here with him. I really don't want to be here with him.
That's
How
true.
are you, Buttkiss?
I tried to get Cross, but he's busy. I'm doing good. Thanks for inviting me to the studio apartment.
Yeah. In Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, Chicago, Illinois. We have a deep dish pizza. We have a few cardboard cutouts that have the word audience on them.
So, today, we're going to talk about things we don't like. We're going to do that. It'll become a little bit more obvious whenever I start talking about something. But firstly, we probably shouldn't talk about Steam Greenlight. Overdone that in a lot of different formats.
That's true.
Probably shouldn't talk about early access, but we both know it'll probably end up going there, at least in some portion.
I'm fairly certain all of the Relikiss podcasts have involved Greenlight and the other thing you mentioned.
Yeah, and early access, and also the waiting queue. Boom, boom, boom. So, alright. So let's talk about some things that we just don't like. And I think that one thing that really annoys me is, it's kind of twofold, but firstly, it's Twitch streamers who complain about how much money they make. Now, this can be as simple as saying they don't like saying some way of they don't make enough, or disregarding how much they make, or anything of that sort, or of saying something is too expensive for them. And I mean higher end Twitch streamers, people who you see getting a bunch of donations. Because if they're getting even one donation a week, that's $430, and then count all the others and count the subscriptions, it's shut up. You have no business complaining about your money that you're making.
Making from playing video games. That's an important note.
Also, they can tax write off every game they buy and all of their equipment. So it's shut up. Don't ever complain about how much money you have. It's an irritating thing.
Never thought of that, but completely agree.
Well, I don't watch streams usually, so it's surprising that I even have this to bitch about. But yeah. Other thing I don't like about Twitch streamers is that Buttkiss is one. Oh, damn, Zing.
Oh, I hate that too.
Bitch, please. I do though. I do hate some other things about Twitch streamers. This is really gonna be how I hate Twitch. So that's what it's gonna be.
Okay. So far, I kind of like Twitch, so.
I hate people putting GIFs on their videos.
Oh, I love the GIFs.
I hate them because they're distracting from what the actual thing is supposed to be.
And the GIFs that are small and stuck in a corner.
I still hate this. If it's not moving, okay, but if it is moving, it's it's kind of obnoxious. Especially if you're doing if you're putting it on YouTube afterwards, because then it's just why you do Because at least with Twitch, it's a different platform, it's a different audience, but YouTube, it's like, that shit don't fly.
That's true.
Um,
It covers information.
but then the other thing, like, I absolutely hate some of the descriptions and stuff that people write on Twitch. Like, they're so just dumb sounding. It's like, I understand that you don't, like, there's no, you find a Twitch streamer for the most part. You don't find them. You find them through another avenue, and then you go to their Twitch. You don't find them through Twitch usually. So I understand like them not caring as much about their descriptions and things, or their chat roles, or how they word stuff, but some of them write really poorly. Like, it just sounds real stupid. And personally, I hate it.
That another thing I've never cared enough to pay attention to.
Oh. Look, I don't watch many streams, but I've seen a few.
But when
Also,
you do,
Drive Not Found has a shitty description, like a shitty chat role and all that. Like, everything's
oh, that's entirely true. We've commented on it ourselves. It's shitty.
Yeah, because, you know, it's written by Cube.
Yeah,
And if you let Cube do
that's
something that he
literally-
doesn't care about,
Cube wanted to do it too. He was the one who he pushed it.
yeah, but then as soon as he has to do it, if he really doesn't care too much about it, he's just like, eh.
Oh, don't be a dick.
Yeah, he'll just write
that's
something
rule
basic and be
1
like, there, done, GG. It's kind of great.
Yeah, we'll never run out of things to make fun of him for.
He's just, it's so amusing how lazy he is, unless he's really, you know, interested in something. He does like the bare minimum. It's wonderful. Yeah, I don't know. I just hate that. But I have a lot more. But for like another thing I hate is, this is more Twitch. I didn't mean to do that, but I did it. This is more of Twitch's end, but sub only chat and just really sub only chat. I don't really need to go into the other thing. Sub only chat is kind of bullshit because you have to be subscribed to that particular Twitch streamer, which we'll just say Twitch is stupid and a bad proposition anyway, because you have to pay $5 per streamer that you want to be subscribed to. But streamers can then do that thing where they make it so only people who are subscribed to them can actually talk in the chat. And that's, in my opinion, a really bad policy for two reasons. One, it discourages the thing that you want to encourage in Twitch, and that's the interaction between the streamer and his audience. And it also encourages people to subscribe, which obviously Twitch wants, but that's not okay as a business practice to kind of strong arm somebody to subscribe to somebody. But I absolutely hate that. I think it's real stupid. And that leads nicely into the next thing I hate, which is Twitch streamers, Kickstarter, Early Access, what have you. Early Access just got brought up. Take a drink.
Already am. I'll drink
but
twice.
Particularly, I have a problem with the Twitch streamers because this is the thing. They encourage donations. Now, it's one thing to thank whoever's donating to you, whatever. But then there are the Twitch streamers who go overboard on it. They have all their little alerts that are, you know, meant to make people want to listen to them so that people will donate more. They read out the donations during the stream, like the donation tip messages, whatever you want to call it, during the stream. They just do a lot of those little things, like say, oh yeah, they like do like that stupid tagline. There's a lot of them that I could use as an example. I'm not going to, because I'm not gonna, you know, point the finger at anyone in specific, but it's really obnoxious that they go so hard on encouraging people to donate to them. If someone wants to donate to you, they'll donate to you. You shouldn't be encouraging them to do that.
I agree for the most part, although I can understand where they're coming from. They want to thank every single person individually. I mean, they are giving you money.
Yeah, but then there's just, I don't know, there's just a few things. Like, you don't need to have those obnoxious alerts that
There's the guy who flashes the rainbow unicorn dancing whilst yelling, Yahtzee! And then being then spend the next 10 seconds being like, "Oh, thank you so much. Hey, money. Yeah. Your name. Yeah. Proceed."
I also hate whenever Twitch streamers say, like, I don't care if this can't go up on YouTube or whatever. It's like, you might not care, but a lot of your audience does. What the hell was that? A lot of your audience does. Like, that's the place that they go to watch your backlog. Because Twitch deletes stuff after a certain period of time. And also, Twitch just sucks as a video service. Like,
Yeah. The highlights could be better.
Yeah, but even, like, if you're watching something in post, like, it doesn't, a lot of times it just doesn't work very well. Certainly not up to YouTube, so.
No.
It annoys me when Twitch streamers will then turn around, essentially, on their own audience and be like, nah, I'm not going to do that for you. Or, I don't care if it goes up on there, or whatever. It's like, it's kind of a dick move. Oh, and people come in and they're like, do you have water? No, we don't have water. The coffee is just dirt. That's all I got. I should probably not leave that in. Alright, so back to what we hate and stuff. So here's something stupid as well. So I've noticed on YouTube, because that's my video service, man. That's what I watch. I've noticed a lot of, like, also Twitch doesn't have comment section for post video. Fuck Twitch. But I've noticed in comment sections, because if there's a video that I don't understand why it's so disliked, let's say it's coming from somebody who I've watched a lot, all their videos are always very positive, like rating wise, and then there's one that's just half and half. It's like, okay, that's a little weird. And then whenever I'm watching it, if I'm just like, this is the same as all their other content, I'm a little confused. So I scroll down.
I've seen that.
And it's like, oh, we don't like it because it's sponsored.
I've also seen that. That's a little bullshit.
Yeah, it's complete bullshit. It's like, firstly, they tell you it's sponsored. They are obligated by law to tell you instantly that it's a sponsored video. If you don't like that, leave. But that doesn't affect the content. Like, of course, they're not going to, badmouth the game, because they're being paid just to show it. They're not going to badmouth the game. Alright, maybe that's your umbrage with it, but they're just showing you a game, and they're playing the game. Generally, they're going to also talk about what they like of it, and then talk about what they don't like of it while they're going too. Because just being sponsored doesn't mean you have to kiss the ass of the person sponsoring you. It does mean you can't call them a piece of shit or something, because then they're not going to sponsor you again. But if you're honest, and you just say like, oh, this could be better, like a normal person, guess what? Yeah. They're not going to care. I don't know, it's so dumb to me that people will dislike a video solely on the basis of it being sponsored, regardless of the content in the video.
And basically comes down to disliking it because people get money for it.
Which is stupid anyway, because most YouTubers who are taking sponsorships, guess what? They're monetized. They're getting money anyway. But from
money
YouTube.
Up too.
Also with comedy, you like comedy YouTubers, video game YouTubers, but obviously they're not focused on the video game, it's comedy. They obviously have a much younger audience usually, and depending on the comedy, and younger audiences are much more annoying. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing about it too is like, so what do you expect then? Should a TV network not show an advertisement? Because I mean,
of course not.
That's the same thing. They're not bad-mouthing the product.
Honestly, I'm tempted to say yes, because that's the thing that drove me away from television. But no.
But they're not necessarily only going to do products they like. But that's still something that everybody's okay with. So I don't know, it's a stupid thing where it's like oh, that's fine, but then nope, YouTube's bad. Which is a thing that we've seen all the time is YouTube and video game industry area. There's double standards compared to what's already established, because this is relatively new. Anyway, continuing with my diatribe, I think that'd be a good word for this. There's one other
yes,
big one that I can kind of say is the same vein. It's the WWE. And you won't know anything about this, but the WWE is often sponsored by, guess what, Mountain Dew. Hey, guess what? The people in WWE don't like Mountain Dew. It sits in front of them on their announce table. Jerry the King Lawler, JVL, Michael Cole. None of them drink it. They're in their suits. None of them drink it. All show. Nobody has a problem with that. It's the same thing. They're promoting something they don't like. Except in this case, they really don't like it. And they do not drink it at all. Except for Jerry Lawler. I'm pretty sure he drinks Mountain Dew, but only the diet. Because if you don't know, and it's good that he only drinks the diet, because if you don't know, Jerry Lawler has had a heart attack. On television.
Huh.
Yeah, during, I think, a Titus O'Neil match. I'm not sure if he was teaming with Darren Young at the time. So it's good that Jerry Lawler's only drinking diet. Because we wouldn't want that to happen again.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last time was more than enough. We all sort of thought he was going to die, and it was terrifying. I don't even know why it happened. I don't think they ever, like, any of the medical details really came out about what caused it, but it was on television. And that shit is not okay. There's a lot of weird things that happen on WWE that you can see them trying to avoid showing. Like, the camera angles will change and not show anything. Wade Barrett broke his arm. He had someone thrown on him. I think it was Dolph Ziggler. He broke his arm catching him. And they just didn't show Wade for the rest of the show.
I did not know that.
Jamie Noble broke his rib getting thrown into a barricade, and they, like, immediately cut away from him. They're like, nope, don't see anything here. And they didn't show the angle of the entranceway anymore. They're just like, that's done.
Well, this is why we have about 500 cameras.
About 500 cameras and a good 5 seconds to make sure we don't show you shit. Oh, goodness. It is, it's interesting when you can catch it and see what's going on versus just casually watching and not noticing. It's pretty great. Or pretty bad, depending on how you look at it.
Wrestling's dangerous.
Oh, it is. Do you know AJ Styles broke Yoshitatsu's neck in Japan doing the Styles Clash?
I did not. I'm not entirely surprised, though. Well, all it takes is like a... never mind. It's easy to mess up and get hurt.
Yeah, and since that's it's not like a pile driver, but you're in the same position and then he drops you forward. Because I don't know if you've seen the Styles Clash or not.
Yeah.
But
I used to watch wrestling. I just got out of it.
But for the rest of the audience who might not have, a pile driver is basically where you're spiked on your head, kayfabe. Usually it's the other guy just sitting down and your head's perfectly fine. But in this case, he's in the same position, and a lot of people give AJ shit, but AJ's actually like a really careful worker. The only problem is that's a move where the other person's completely reliant upon you, but it's also reliant a little bit on the other person and how they are positioned themselves. So how they're holding themselves up while you're holding them, essentially. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but even the slightest of movements in any wrestling move, but particularly in moves like that, even if you're slightly off, can cause an injury. And in this case, it broke Tatsu's neck. So, it was not a good thing. Not a good thing. Also, he knocked the Miz's teeth out in WWE on television. Because I don't think Miz saw something coming, and it caught him in the face. So, things are interesting. Things are interesting. Speaking of gruesome wrestling injuries, for people who still, again, don't believe in wrestling injuries.
Yay!
Just look up Tyson Kidd neck. That's all you need. Done. Essentially, he had to get a surgery and a screw put in his neck after taking a muscle buster from Samoa Joe. Something went wrong, because Joe never hurts anybody with those things. But something went wrong, and he should be dead. Tyson Kidd should legitimately be dead. Yeah. And if not dead, he should be paraplegic. It was a nasty surgery, and if you see the scar, it's like, holy shit.
I see the scar right now. That is eesh.
Yeah. And the funniest thing is, as funny as this morbid thing can ever be,
Funniest.
he walked to the backstage. It's reported that he walked back there. He's like, my neck hurts. I should probably get this looked at. And then someone was just like, holy shit, you're fucked up. So,
Okay, that's funny.
so it's just the idea that he just like walks back and he's like, yeah, man, this is bad. And it's actually an injury that can legitimately kill you. He's just like, yeah, this is nice.
My neck tickles, guys.
Like, that's insane to me. It sucks though. Like I don't think he's ever going to be able to wrestle again because he has a screw in there. He should never wrestle again. He should just be glad he's not, crippled or dead.
Yeah.
Poor friggin' dude. It's kind of sad too because he was just getting back on a roll. Like he was just getting back into it, but whatever. Yeah. So that WWE stuff. Anything else you hate, Buttkiss?
Tangents.
Oh, damn it. No, I feel sad.
No, not really. I'm a pretty easygoing person who loves everything,
See,
including suicidal semi-truck drivers who run you off the road. Or in this case, into a turn lane.
Alright, I was about to say, usually we have, like, the best way of grabbing you would be grabbing you when you are pissed at something, but otherwise you forget and you're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Something happened someday, huh?
Pretty much, actually. My memory's not the best.
It's kind of great, unless it's like a video game thing, and it's a video game that you play a lot. That's about it. Like, it has to be something that is something you do a lot for you to be like, I know what I'm mad at. Kind of great. Guess we can talk about something different then, because I mean, I still got you, and I still want to talk.
Oh, okay.
So let's talk about something fun, which will mostly just be me talking to you about, telling you about some fun stuff.
Ooh.
So,
I love being told about stuff.
what do you know about cannibalism, Buttkiss?
A great way for a fun conversation to start. I know it involves consuming a fellow member of your species.
That's right. It actually was first. Cannibalism was first actually applied to humans in specific, but then it's been, moved on to talk about, any species cannibalizing themselves, which
I think is totally legitimate.
yeah, it's a pretty good word.
Yeah.
Anyway, cannibalism actually dates back to a long time ago. It's actually very likely it dates back to the Ice Age, because obviously food was hard to come by in the Ice Age, and one of the principal things that causes cannibalism is famine. So it probably goes all the way back to then, with eating, fallen tribal members, which is pretty great. And I don't know how they've done it, because anthropology is weird to me. They've been looking at bones and stuff, and somehow they can say, like, if these bones were cannibalized, because I guess maybe the bones were chipped or something. I don't know. But there's, they've been pulling up all these bones and stuff. It's like, yeah, this is cannibalized. It's like, alright. I mean, there's probably something to that. I don't know. As far as we know, they could just be saying stuff, but just looking at it from a standpoint of, like, of just logic itself, we know that cannibalism has been used in rituals before, so obviously it has to be done in, like, the past as well. We know that in times of famine, people have eaten each other. That's been documented in modern era. Obviously, that would have to go and apply to the past as well, which I'm applying it to the Ice Age, because food would be tough.
Yeah.
But there's actually a lot of talk, because, again, anthropologists are like, yo, we found bones that say that there was cannibalism, which I still don't get. I should do the research into that, but anyway, that a lot of bones and stuff were cannibalized down in Africa, and just in other areas, but like Pangaea, Africa was the most, was the center. They found a lot of bones, and they were like trying to figure out like, why would this happen in tribal society? And the idea that they came to, like the consensus essentially that they've come to, is that like obviously it was ritual. It was a ritual cannibalism because they did not need food. It was ritualistic cannibalism. But the idea, like they said behind it, other than family rites, which sometimes happened to just honor their fallen and like put their soul into, carry on their soul or something. It's weird. They also theorized that cannibalism was used as a way of removing a body, in the sense that they didn't bury their dead. It actually took a very long time for humans to bury their dead or burn their dead. Before then, we would just discard bodies. We would throw them out of where we're living, and that'd be it.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
So,
burying bodies doesn't make a whole lot of sense until it gets explained to you.
Yeah, so they would just throw bodies out. Whether that be into water or whatever, they would just toss a body. And then, usually not just literally toss a body, it was carried out, but you get the idea. Here's the thing with leaving hunks of meat around. One, that's a primary instance of disease right there.
Mm-hmm.
And, unwanted insects, vultures, etc., etc. The big problem, though, and this is what they think is the real reason, because idiots in the past era wouldn't understand disease. We all know that. So this is the thing that idiots in the past era would understand. Lions, coyotes, cougars, etc., etc. If they find meat lying around and it's fresh, they're going to eat it. If they start eating human meat, they recognize that the human who's walking around is the thing they've eaten, and they look at that now as prey. So now, because, lions, cougars, coyotes don't actively hunt humans, but now they regard the human as being, as being the thing that they can go hunt. So it's actually hypothesized that people would eat their dead as a means of stopping that from happening, as a means of fending off predation, which I think is like so fucking cool.
That does make sense.
It's like, because they're idiots in the past. They wouldn't really understand diseases, but they understand, oh shit, there's a lion that's trying to kill us now. This is happening because we're throwing our dead out. Let's fix that.
Yeah.
But cannibalism's still an issue, oddly enough. But there have been several things, up to the modern era where it's been much more evident. Nowadays, it's mostly done as a last resort for famine instances.
Yeah, like being lost at sea in a lifeboat with one considerably smaller, weaker.
Yep, you're talking about Dudley and Stevens, the case?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I had to look up because that was the one that was on my mind, and I'm like, I don't remember the name of this. For those of you who don't know, Dudley and Stevens, it was they were on a raft, two guys, and I think it's like their ship boy? Right? Cabin boy.
Yeah, something like that.
He was in a coma, and they killed him to eat him because they were all out of food and everything. So, a lot of times whenever this is actually told, they won't tell you that the guy was in a coma, so it sounds much more horrible than it actually was. It's still horrible, but he wasn't awake for it at the very least.
It does make a difference.
It doesn't suck as much for him. But they ate him because they had no food. And this is actually where the precedent was set that even if you're starving to death, you cannot commit a murder, because they found those two guilty of murder. Which is crazy to me, because it's like, all they had to do was throw everything off the boat, and the water damage to the body would, especially if it sank, probably would have given them a scot-free time.
Yeah.
I don't know how they fucked that up. But, yeah, so that was, when was that?
Well, they might not have been thinking in terms of getting away with it.
They probably weren't. They probably didn't even think it was anything wrong. They were probably just like, look, we had to do it.
They also may have given up hope of being found.
But that was in 1884. There's new research that doesn't even suggest it's actually it's evidence. They found evidence that there was cannibalism in the Jamestown colony, which for the most part we still have no idea what happened in Jamestown, but they found evidence of cannibalism there, and that's 1609. Then there is the Donner Party, which was a 1846. It was a wagon train, and something happened. I believe it was in a snowstorm, and they just couldn't get anywhere, so they had to resort to cannibalism. But in that case, all of the people were already dead that they were eating. There was the plane crash in like 2004, I believe, where again cannibalism happened, and I think that's actually in a movie too. Because in the movie, I remember this very vividly. Eat the butt, because that's where the fat is. So, alright, I'm sorry. But that's a thing that's happened. Look, I'm sure in real life they didn't say eat the butt. But in the movie they did. There was also the 1810 Meduse, I believe was the ship name. It got sunk by a friggin' sperm whale, which is hilarious. And essentially, like, everything went wrong after that. There were a certain amount of people who were on a thing, both women and men, and then just, like, everything went bad. on the raft, essentially, everybody started fighting with each other. A lot of people were killed. And then, after that, there was some cannibalism, and then after that, there was some throwing off the weak and wounded, which means that at the end, there were only 15 men left, out of, like, 97 people, I think. So, shit was pretty great. I don't know if any of those people were charged. I assumed that they would be, because they legitimately murdered people. But that was a pretty effed up situation. So there's a lot of situations in our time that have been pretty effed up that people have resorted to cannibalism on. Another one would be the siege of Leningrad in World War II, which was 1940s, right? I don't know. I can't do dates, but
me neither.
Essentially, because there was a siege, there was no food. Nom nom nom. Eat some people. Need some food. And the police actually had to start, like, stopping that physically. They had to be like, alright, well, this is a thing. Gotta go stop the locals from eating each other. Pretty great.
Famous last words.
I think it was... when was the Second Congo War? Because I'm pretty sure that was a big deal, that there was cannibalism during that. Which is kind of terrible as well. Because that's, I think, in 2000? And, like, this was a war, and obviously they were eating... It's messed up. Because it's different than a plane, because it's a much larger scale. And it's not this accident. This is a freaking war going on, and bad things are happening. So, cannibalism is a pretty bad thing. That's still prevalent today. Did you know, Buttkiss, that there was this guy in Germany who put out an ad. He wanted to eat somebody. It might have actually been the opposite. The guy who wanted to be eaten, maybe. That was it. I don't know. But essentially, somebody put out an ad, whether it was the guy wanting to be eaten or the guy who wanted to eat somebody. Somebody else answered the ad. Okay. Guess what? The one guy got partially eaten. This happened in Germany.
I did not see that coming. That into the story, it came out of nowhere.
Hey man, you want to eat me? Yeah, alright. Messed up. And then North Korea had executions for people eating flesh in like 2006, so it's still prevalent today, which is really weird. And there is this weird thing for eating too many bodies. I think that eventually you get like this weird brain disease, which is 100% fatal. We don't have no cure for it. It kills you. It's just end of story. If it happens, you're dead. Done. I personally think that was sort of an evolutionary trait that we gained. That it's only been, I think, seen in New Guinea, which is a place that is historic for decades of cannibalism. Even to this day, they still have cannibalism, like cannibal cults. So, little bit odd that would show up there, but it's only been observed there. But there's essentially, if you eat a brain of a person, I don't know if they have to be infected or if. I think it's just this innate thing that's in somebody's brain. You can or you will or will not find them. It's a coin flip, man. But I think that it was a evolutionary trait to essentially try to stop our own species from eating itself.
Yeah.
It's like
make sure we don't accidentally kill each other.
Yeah, like increase our chances of survival, lower the predators that are trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Either that or it's just, hey, we never intended for you to eat each other. We didn't make you proper for this. Weird shit's gonna happen now. We didn't suspect this would happen. Look what you've done. You
people don't eat people.
Man, it could have been worse. It could have been like bubonic plague 2.0. You eat somebody and then just shit goes wrong. Kinda be hilarious.
That would be a great premise for a horror film. One of those recording ones too.
But yeah. There's your interesting tidbit, Buttkiss. I know how much you love cannibalism.
Yeah. Thanks for having this nice conversation with me.
Oh, you know something else that's kind of interesting? Not on cannibalism, but still on things dying. Far Cry Primal has brought... Because Far Cry 4 had a honey badger. Far Cry Primal's brought back the honey badger, but as like the most powerful, crazy-ass animal on the planet. It attacks anything. It's just like, I'm a honey badger, bitch. Honey badger don't care.
Yes.
And
the meme. It survived.
So it was already a meme, but now it's getting to that point where it's being dropped into video games because it's just, I don't know, it's gotten that popular. Which it's hilarious because it's a honey badger, but it's actually, it's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Yeah, no, they're mean.
They are a incredibly I'll be honest, I didn't know about the honey badger at all until 2010. Didn't know what it was.
Oh.
2010 or maybe it was 2005 or 2007, I don't know. I watched The Living Wake, written by Michael Connell, stars Jesse Eisenberg from okay. Anyway, basically one person was killed by honey badgers. And I was like, this is the stupidest thing I ever heard. And then I looked it up and I'm like, oh. So, for those of you who don't know, a honey badger is like a badger, Uh, except
But
on steroids.
yeah, and about as aggressive as a wolverine.
Yeah, I mean they don't actively seek out fights, but you piss them off, they fight anything.
And they perceive corners to be everywhere.
They're kind of insane.
Yeah.
And it's not that they're insane like just for being insane. They're insane and they know that they can take a fight. So they're like this paranoid freak who's like, I also know I can kick your ass. So
Uh, they're the traumatized marine of the animal world.
it is messed up. That's actually a really good description of it too. Like their neck is stupidly thick. So if they're getting bit by a dog, guess what? It won't go through. Like their ears are small so that they can't get like the eyes and the ears are small so they can't get damaged while fighting. It's like this short little thing that's like super built. It's fucking jacked. It is it's kind of it's really messed up.
Uh,
And it frequently raids bee nests. Like it doesn't give a shit.
exactly. That's where it got its name. It likes the honey.
It does. It eats honey. It doesn't care. And there've been so many like just things recording of it like fighting crazy amounts of animals. Fighting a lion, getting bit by shit and just being like, murdering horses and cattle. Just there's even a theory that the shades of a cheetah kitten is just to look like a honey badger, because that's how fearsome they supposedly are. Like they are not to be fucked with apparently. And like there was an incident where a honey badger got into somebody's like a storage place for ducks and chickens, killed 17 ducks and 36 chickens. Just did it on a whim. I was like, alright.
Yeah, wasn't gonna eat them all. Just wanted to kill them.
Yeah, they can rip apart hen houses. They can burrow underneath stone foundations. These things are legit. They're notoriously hard to kill. Like a dog, you can have dogs guarding your chicken coop. They'll kill the dog. Like these things have cardio for days. They can
Although
fight
might
for.
leave the chickens alone.
They can fight for like an entire. They can fight for probably like 18 hours straight and just keep going at full tilt. It's insane. They've been hit by like. There was an instance where like they beat the shit out of a someone had a machete and he beat the shit out of a honey badger and it didn't die. He couldn't get the machete through it. So like the only way that people know how to kill them is to just shoot them pretty much. It's like these things are fucking tough.
And you can't shoot from a distance either. You have to wait until you see the whites of their eyes.
That's not true. No, but honey badgers are fucking badasses. They sound like they're not. They look cute. They are fucking jacked, and they are fucking badasses. It's insane. I love the idea. I love the fact that there's just this little tiny thing that's the most fearsome, powerful creature on the planet.
So did the internet. We made a meme of it.
Oh, the internet loves it. They fight anything. It's so insane. They don't give a shit. And they don't even... The freaking scariest thing about them is they give people and other predators this much trouble with only one of them being there. They never roll in groups.
Uh-huh.
Imagine if there was like 6 honey badgers together. They would fuck everybody up. And they also have the distinction, not only are they like the most friggin' insane animal in the kingdom, they have the distinction of being like one of the only animals, particularly of like the, what would be the name of that type of thing? weasel family, I guess. I don't know the actual scientific term, but they're the only one of that family who actually uses tools. So a honey badger's been recorded as getting a log and dragging it over to a place to climb up on it to get a kingfisher. They do shit like that. There's been another one where honey badgers took a rake, some sticks, and just a bunch of other shit in order to get out of their cage at a zoo.
Wow.
Honey badgers use fucking tools. It's not bad enough they're insane. They can use tools. One of these days, a honey badger is going to learn how to get a gun and use it. At that point, we're fucked. They've won.
It's between that and figuring out how to play well with each other.
Yo, they don't even fight each other, though. That's the weirdest part. They don't care about, they won't fight each other. But...
They don't care about each other.
Yeah, but once somebody else comes in, it's like, alright, I'll take you one. If it's another honey badger, they're just like, eh. It's fantastic. But they won't help each other either. They'll just be like, yeah. Have a good day, bro. I assume they'd fight if, they saw another honey badger fighting. They might join in, but... It'd be...
Hey, you never know. They might just want to see who would win first. If it's a fair fight, like a bear. A very large bear.
That's the thing. They're so freaking hard to kill that, most predators just get tired of fighting them. You can't fucking kill these things. It's fantastic. I'm so glad that Far Cry Primal put them in the game. And they're one of the highest tiered pets. You have to get to a really stupidly far point to get them. Which I am so happy about.
I seem to remember the earliest betas including the honey badgers that you have as pets biting you on the arm on occasion. Just because, they can't.
Honey badgers are fantastic. It's even more insane. So they usually make these little tiny tunnels because they don't care. They're like, I'll make this little tiny tunnel in a hard ground because no one's gonna come fuck with me. I don't need it to be big. So, but they also will sometimes just walk over, and if they see an aardvark or a warthog hole, they'll just take it over. They'll be like, alright. The aardvark and the warthog, they're not gonna fight. They'll be like, bro, it's yours. The warthog might actually, because the warthog's a friggin' retard, but it would lose pretty quick. They even take over termite mounds. It's crazy. These things are insane. They don't give a shit. They just do what they want. It's so crazy to me. God. They even kill, fucking cobras. And they eat bones. They eat bones.
Gotta get that protein somehow.
There's even been a report that they dug up human corpses in India.
Of course they would.
These things are the most insane fucking animal on the planet.
Let me ask you something there. Did they open the coffin or did they eat the coffin?
Oh, I'm sure they ate it. Gotta get that fiber.
Yeah.
And, there's huge colonies of, huge spans of honey badgers that are just filled with rabies. And, of course, no one's gonna treat them or kill off the rabied ones, because it's how the hell do you do it? So there's just this huge prevalence of rabies in certain areas because of honey badgers.
Lots and lots of guns.
Oh, goodness. Even then, these things are rated the least concern on the conservation status. There are a fucking lot of them.
Yep, they're even in front of carps.
They do not give a shit. They can live one of the ones from a zoo lived for 24 years. These things are insane. They're unkillable little bastards who can live forever.
Well, on the bright side, if they ever do get rabies, they won't ever spread it to any other animals, because any other animals they bite are going to die.
Yeah, they're just gonna be dead.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll spread to a human. Maybe.
Except the human will be dead.
God, they even chase away young lions too. Like not the big burly guys, but like not the little cubs either. Just like a new an adolescent lion, I guess you could say. They chase those bastards away from courses. It's insane. These things are the greatest things on the planet. When you get a honey badger that beats up jackals on video, you fucking know you've hit the gold mine. These things are the greatest. I'm so glad that they're on Earth. They don't look like they should be as dangerous as they are. It's fantastic.
I so hope they were a result of some crazy scientific experiment gone wrong.
That'd be fantastic. God, I hope something went wrong, and this is what happened. I also hope that they somehow get worse, like just end up being like our biggest threat. Fucking honey badgers. It evolves. It goes past us being afraid of other humans. No, we're afraid of the fucking honey badger. I would love that.
And they won't even be afraid of our nuclear bombs. They'll dare us to
They'll be like a cockroach. They could just survive it.
Yeah.
Just imagine if they got to that level, like, of unkillableness. Game over. It'd just be funny if an alien came by, like, who knew English language perfectly. It's like, hey guys, what's going on? We're getting killed by honey badgers. What?
Oh, that happened to my home planet too.
It's like, a badger that eats honey is killing the human race. This is weird. Goes down. Oh God, please no.
Why won't my ray guns hurt it?
Why are they being reflected? Why am I being eaten? Oh jeez. I love every bit of it. I really do. Well, Buttkiss, this has been Relikiss Podcast, where we've really gone off on tangents. We had first it started off with me bitching, moved on to wrestling.
That was fun.
Moved on to cannibalism.
That was a nice conversation. I'm glad you described it as such.
And then we ended it with honey badgers.
The best.
Which, it really is the best.
Somehow we didn't discuss honey badger cannibalism, but
I don't think they do it. They might, but
I mean, they might try, but I don't even think a honey badger could kill a honey badger.
No, I don't think so either. It'd just be a standoff. It'd be like, well, we got better things to do. See ya.
That's how they have sex. After about 20 hours of fighting each other, they both get pregnant.
You know, it's possible. Human beings do not have any idea of how honey badgers mate. We have no idea of their breeding, because we've never been able to study the wild ones for that long. We just know they pair up and hunt together during the May, when they breed. That's it. I think the male leaves way before the babies are even born, because guess what? Babies don't need defended. Fucking mom can handle that. Don't need two there. It's insane.
Show me one problem you can't solve with 2 honey badgers.
I can tell you what. You'd be very hard pressed to do that. Cancer? They'll just kill the guy who has cancer. Famine? They'll just kill a bunch of humans and let you eat them.
That'll cut down on the food supply drain.
Racism? They'll just kill the guy who's racist.
And the racist towards.
They are the new Adolf Hitler. Honey badgers are the only race worthwhile here. Jesus.
Hail Badger!
This could have easily been a waiting queue, but I don't think Cube or Krause would have had the patience to deal with this shit.
Probably not. They should have, though.
They should just respect the honey badger. And if that's the end. That's what we want to end on. Just respect the honey badger.
Respect the honey badger.
All the other stuff was just to build you up, lure you into a false sense of like, we're not really talking about cool shit. And then honey badger.
Yep, honey badger. Wham.
That should be the new meme, like, forever. Then honey badger. Just, that's the way to end everything.
Once upon a time, the entire world was about to blow themselves up with nukes.
Then honey badger. I couldn't ask for more. I really couldn't. Well, this might not have been the best one we've done, although I think the content was pretty solid at the end, but it might not have been the best we've done, but I think the ending was the best.
Oh, by far.
Like, as long as you like honey badgers, think this is where you think this is what you need.
Oh, even if you don't like honey badgers, you don't have to like honey badgers, you just have to respect them.
Yeah, exactly. When you got a little thing that can take on a giant, like, come on. These are the modern day Davids.
You do me a favor, Relic.
Yeah?
When I die, I want you to feed me to a honey badger.
Sure. How many?
Oh, well, hang on.
Because I was thinking of just dropping you into, like, a zoo. Exhibit full of honey badgers.
That would be glorious. Tape it, and then cremate the tape.
After uploading it to YouTube, obviously.
Yeah.
Although I think that would be taken down for how graphic it'd be.
Just go to some... I don't know.
Sure, there are other sites. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Discovery. Sell it to Discovery. Shotgun. Yeah, this has been the Relikiss Podcast. Respect honey badgers. Say goodbye, Buttkiss.
Goodbye. Respect honey badger.
And for Colt Cabana, I'm Colt Cabana. See ya.